Part 9 of the Military Journals of Two Private Soldiers, 1758-1775. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by FNH. The Military Journals of Two Private Soldiers, 1758-1775, by Abraham Tomlinson. Part 9. Tuesday, 24th. A number of teams started for Ye Lake again. I received 2 letters from Captain Benjamin Lyon and 1 from Joshua. The post came up yesterday to Fort Edward. This day our drawing, and we had good pork. 3 regiments of baymen moved down, along which was Colonel Prebles, Colonel Williams, and Colonel Nichols. Wednesday, 25th. General Abercromby arrived at Fort Edward near night, and all our regiment there were of duty were ordered to be out upon the parade with their side arms on, but the General forbid it. Colonel L. Partridge's regiment came down, and some of the lather caps, and stayed here. Thursday, ye 26th. Stormy morning. Snow pretty wet, and raw cold. I went upon the picket last night, and had 1 quart of rum for keeping sheep. Friday, 27th. Being lowry and wet, one of our men discharged home, and sot of Nathaniel Barnes a number of teams sot out for the brook, and returned again before sundown. Saturday, 28th. Being still cold, all our men turned out to work sunrise, and that want enough, and they sent for every waiter, and every one that belongs to the regiment. A number of teams sot out down homeward, and 3 of our company went with them, viz., Surgeon Amsborough, Jonathan Child, and Payne Convis. This afternoon the orders came out that every sutler that belongs to the provincials should quit this place by the 1st of November. Sunday, ye 29th. Ranny and wet. About 9 o'clock in the morning, every man in the regiment that could go went to the falls, the 3rd fall, as it was called, in the Hudson, at Sandy Hill, to help draw down the batteaux, and very muddy it was. Monday, ye 30th. Being very pleasant in the morning, we were all turned out after batteaux up to the falls, and we went twice apiece. Tuesday, ye 31st. All our men turned out by the Reveille, beating to go to batteaux, and General Provost was out amongst our tents to help turn us out, and he said it was the last work we should do that was flung up today. I went upon the quarter guard at noon, and they got down all the batteaux. Wednesday, November ye 1st. Lowry and wet. I come of guard, our men all upon works, and 3 regiments of our Connecticuts came down about noon, and Colonel Whitings had orders to go over to the Royal Blockhouse, and there to remain until further orders, and t'other 2 regiments sot off home in batteaux, and 2 or 3 regiments of lobsters. We had orders come out that we should all have 2 days to clean up in, and to set for home on Sunday. This day I wrote a letter and sent to John. Thursday, ye 2nd. Very cold. Our men turned out to cutting fascines, and the orders were that it was the last day's work that we should do. Friday, ye 3rd. Very cold. Our men all turned out upon works, notwithstanding yesterday's promise. Our men had but poor encouragements to work, and laid but little weight to what that General promised, for he said the first man that disobeyed his orders again should be shot to death, whatsoever soldier or officer. Saturday, 4th. I was orderly after General, and our men all to work a drawing in cannon into the fort, and our quarter guard was not relieved till afternoon, and after that orders come out that we should strike our tents by 8 o'clock and be ready to march by 9. One Cymbals got his discharge from the regular service today. Sunday, ye 5th. Being very cold, it began to rain, so that we were detained, but Colonel Whiting marched off. Rainy all day long. We had orders to be ready to march at 7 o'clock in the morning. Monday, ye 6th. Cloudy still. At 8 o'clock we struck our tents, and at 9 o'clock we marched off, and about half after 12 we arrived at Fort Miller, and made a little stop, then marched again, and arrived at Saratoga, sun about 1 hour high, and made no stop there, but marched on about 3 mile, and encamped in the woods. Friday, ye 10th. Very stormy, and snow in the morning. We drawed 2 days' allowance of provisions, but no money, and about 2 o'clock we sot out from Greenbush, and arrived at Cantyhook town about 10 o'clock at night, 13 of us, and Lieutenant Lannard. Saturday, 11th. From thence we marched sun 2 hours high, and arrived at John Hodge Boom's, and revived ourselves a little, and brought some rum that belonged to Colonel Whitton's regiment, and thence to Lovejoy's, and went to supper, and from thence to Roberts's, and lodged there in the Patteroon lands. Livingston's manor in Columbia county. The estates of Livingston, Van Rensselaer, and others, who received grants of land from the government, on certain conditions, in order to encourage immigration and agriculture, were called Patteroon lands, and the proprietors were entitled to patroons, or patrons. Sunday, 12th. Being still cold, we sot out at sunrise, and arrived at Bush's in Sheffield, and had a good breakfast, and there was more with horses, and from thence to Lawrence's, and revived ourselves there, to Coles, and thence to Sedgwick in Cornwall, and then to Wilcox in Goshen, and lodged there. Monday, 13th. Cold. I come up to Hollyboat, and sent my pack along from Goshen, and we marched and arrived at Litchfield, and then to Herringtown to Weir's, and from there to Strong's in Farmington, and lodged there. Tuesday, 14th. Very cold and frosty. Marched 5 mile through the meadows, and went to breakfast, and come to Mercy's, and stayed there, and Captain Holmes came up. Wednesday, 15th. We marched and arrived at Cheney's in Bolton, and from thence we marched and arrived at Lee's in Coventry, and lodged there. Very rainy. Stephen Lyon met us with the horses. Thursday, 16th. Being warm and pleasant, we arrived at Woodstock. Note. The soldiers had necessarily a great deal of leisure during permanent camp duties, and contrived various ways to amuse themselves and kill time. In those days the common soldiers carried their powder in horns of cows or oxen, and many amused themselves by ornamenting them by a skilful use of their knives. Below is a specimen of one of these ornamented horns, prepared during the campaign of 1758. Upon it is neatly cut the figure of a fortified building, a part of which is seen in the engraving, the owner's name, and a verse, as follows: Eleuthan Ives, his horn, made at Lake George, September ye 22nd, A.D. 1758. I, Powder, with my brother Ball, a hero like do conquer all. Steal not this horn for fear of shame, for on it is the owner's name. The ruse is red, the grass is green, the days are past which I have seen. End of Part 9. Recording by FNH. Please visit www.bookranger.co.uk.